Call on Yahweh Ba'Shem Hamashiach Malak Yahushai. All praise to the Most High God for another blessed week He's allowed us to make it through. Another blessed week He's allowed us to make it to. It's the Shabbat. All praise to the Most High. Lord willing, Israel across the nation is doing the work, is resting, is abstaining from pleasures, is not working, so on and so forth, keeping all the ordinances of the Shabbat holy to the best of our ability, Lord willing. It's O.F.I Captain Emmanuel. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. To you a quick pre-camp lesson, Lord willing. All praise to the Most High through the Spirit. This is most certainly, Lord willing, through the Holy Spirit, because I myself am in a situation of a test of faith right now, right? I'm not going to get into those, but, my faith is being tested right now. I'm strongly led to believe, right? And I'm praying and hoping that the Spirit remains with me, that, I stand tall through it all praise to the Most High. And I'm here to be an example of how to do so, Lord willing. We've been set up as men to go out here and teach on the highways and byways, to use the devices that are in this world, to use them for good, for the truth. So getting on here to make this video because someone else may be going through a test of faith right now. Someone else may be getting taken through the fire right now. Someone else may be facing high levels of adversity, so all praise to the Most High that we can turn to the scriptures, we can turn to the precepts in these times. All right. Let's get it cracking, Lord willing. I got a late start going on, so we're going to get right into it. We're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 1. 1 Peter chapter 1. We're going to start at verse number 6. It says, "Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations." Right? Wherein you greatly rejoice, right? You may be greatly rejoicing at one time, and then the next thing you know, you enter into a season of heaviness and manifold temptations, right? Everything can be all good, like, with that song in the world, it was all good just a week ago. Bobby Shmurda, right? Bobby Shmurda. But it says, though now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations. And let's harp on if need be, because things may have been going so right for you for a long period of time that you may have been kind of getting dull and content. So if need be, if the Lord need to bring you through a time period, a season of heaviness and manifold temptations, then he'll do so to prove you, to test you, to test your faith. Let's read on. It says that the trial of your faith. What is it to be on trial? That's something. That's when you're being tested. That's when you're being proven. Like when you go to the court of law, right? In this kingdom, you're on trial while you're awaiting what's going to take place. You're awaiting the sentence. You're trying to see how things are going to play out and what's going to be in store for you, right? So that the trial of your faith, the trying or proving of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, because fire is what refines gold. It's what gets rid of all impurities, right? So the fire is representative of tough situations, manifold temptations that may be coming your way. Whether it be you've ran into some financial trouble, whether you sick, whether you lost your job, whether your children are going through something. All praise to the Most High. We continue to stand tall throughout it all. And, Lord willing, pass these tests of faith and come out better on the other side because of it, right? We may have had some doubts, or we may have had some moments of worry throughout troublesome situations, but that fire that the Lord is bringing us through burns all of that up. It gets rid of it. So the next time that you're in a situation that may be troublesome or may be, heavy, burdensome on you, you'll remember that the Lord tried you, and that, you may recognize that the Lord is once again trying you. And this time you got to be more faithful. You got to be more trusting. It says, might be found unto praise and honor and glory, right? at the appearing of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. So you want to be building up accounts of past test of your faith, right? You don't want to have, let's say, from now to the time that Yahweh Shai come. We don't know the day, right? But we can see that we're getting very, very close. Everything that's going on the earth, right? Let's say you have 20 tests of faith in between now and that time, right? You don't want your score to be 8 out of 20, 6 out of 20, 10 out of 20. You, Lord willing, and you want your score to be 20 out of 20, right? Until he returns. You want your score to be outstanding. You want to pass with, as they say, what? Flying colors. You want to pass. You want to do your best to get a perfect score when it comes to these trials of faith. Now, let's say you don't get a perfect score, right? Let's say you get 16 out of 20, 14 out of 20. Lord willing, you can take the 4 times that you lost or failed, the 6 times that you lost or failed, and build off of that. And remember and keep your spirit high, keep your mind in a sound place, right? Because we know the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. Let's get that real quick. We know the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Shemi El Shai. Right? 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a what? A sound mind. You got to keep your mind sound. You got to meditate on the scriptures and remember that this fear that's coming into your mind and into your spirit, yes, the Lord does all things, but he wants you to drive that out and remember that he didn't give us the spirit of fear because he gave, what do we have as Israelites? We got everything. We got the services of God, right? We can call on the Most High God when we need him, right? Didn't the children of Israel call on the Most High God when the Pharaoh was on their trail? Right? Didn't David call on the Most High God and inquire of God on what to do in the midst of war? Right? Didn't Daniel call out to the Most High God in the lion's den? These are the things we have to do and remember that we as the children of Israel, right? Yasha Allah, he be a prince with power. We have the power to call on Yahweh Ba'Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushua. And these other nations don't have that. Right? These other nations do not have that. What do we have? Romans chapter 9 and verse 4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God. Right? What is all entailed in the service of God? Hey, being able to call upon him, being able to pray to him, right? Being able to serve him, knowing how to serve him. Being able to get into these scriptures and view it through a different lens than these other nations, right? Being called into this truth, being able to repent. All of these things is given to the children of Israel. These things only pertain to us. So in times of trouble, and even in not times of trouble, you're able to call upon the Lord. And we got to remember these things. And when we come against test of faith, right, we got to be able to pass them, Lord willing, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shemi Yahushua. Let's get Job chapter 1. Right, we'll start at the top. It says, there was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. All right, we got to fear the Most High God and shoo evil away. Let's jump down to verse number 6. It says, Salakia. Early morning. Khan. Let's get verse number 6. It says, now that there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them, right? We're going to read a decent amount of this account. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Right? So even though we read that Job was a perfect man, right? We read that Job was a perfect man, that he was upright and he eschewed evil. Yahweh already had decided that he was going to test Job. He was going to in the faith, in the diligence of Job, right? It says, Salakia, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, doth Job fear God for naught? Right? Satan kind of tried to get, witty with it. Does Job fear God for naught? He said, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? So basically what Satan is getting into is Job is only like this because you've kept him upright. You've blessed him with what he needs. You haven't taken Job through the fire. And Satan has it in his mind that he's sure that Job is going to go off, denounce the Lord, get rid of his good works and his faith if the Lord tests him. It says, thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. That's what Satan thought. It said, and the Lord said, and to that point, that's what Satan thinks of you too. If you didn't know, that's what Satan is counting on you to do. That if the Lord come and turn everything around, right? You once was in a moment of bliss, happiness. You were anticipating this happening. You want everything to go to the way that you want it to go. Everything is all good. You got your job. You got your bills paid, right? You got extra money, right? You just got that new car. You just got that new upgrade on the iPhone. Everything is just going good. You've been reading. You've been studying. The Lord is revealing things unto you, right? Your love life is going well. Everything is just great, right? But then what? The Lord come with fire. What are you going to do when the Lord comes with fire? It says, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. So, the Most High told him pretty much, hey, go ahead and put that test on him then. Since you think that my servant is going to turn from me, let's see. I'm going to give you the power to go ahead and go and test him. It says, Salaki, it says, and there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and only I am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven and have burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Right? It says, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans had made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and carried them away, yea, and slain the servants of the edge of the sword, and only I am escaped alone to tell thee. Sometimes the Lord stack up the test too. He'll raise the difficulty, and that's when you start getting that spirit of, man, it's just one thing after another. I haven't even made it all the way through this yet, and now this is added. Wait, hold on, damn. Now this is added on top of that too? What's going on here? It says, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house. Right? And so we know that Yahweh does all things. We know Yahweh brought this great wind. It says, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And only I am escaped alone to tell thee. Right? Now, Job just got the word that his children were gone. Extremely high level of adversity. Extremely, extremely high. Let's read on. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, right? He tore his clothes and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped. Job just got the news that his children were gone. And the first thing that Job did was fell to the ground and worshiped Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Malak Yahushua. Do we have that level of faith? Lord willing, we can. Lord willing, we have to remain faithful in times of tests. Right? The Lord joys to see us blessed. Joys to see us getting the things that we need. Joys to see us be obedient to him so he'll answer our prayers. We got to show the Lord that even in the midst of fire, that we're a faithful servant, right? That we are a faithful servant. It says, and said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return hither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. See, sometimes we got to get into the spirit of Job, man, and understand, hey, sometimes the Lord will give you this, and sometimes the Lord will take this. Sometimes the Lord will give you a picture perfect situation, and then sometimes he'll throw a little adversity your way and make you have to go through a little something before you get what you prayed for, right? It says, in all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. You see that? Hey, Job remained strong. He remained humble, and he wasn't going. Job wasn't going, man. Let's get a little more Job. I was going to get Job chapter 2, but I'm running short on time. Let's get Job 13 real quick. Job 13 and 15 says, though he slay me, though the Lord taking me through this, taking me through that, and the Lord may be whooping my ass, Salakia for the language. The Lord may be taking me through it. The Lord may be proving me in this way, in that way, this manner, and that manner. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain mine own ways before him. You see that? Though he slay me, though I may be going through it, I will put my trust in him, and I won't turn away from the Lord, right? Let's get the book of James. I'm moving quickly because I'm low on time. Let's see, it's 2 o'clock. All right. James chapter 1, we're going to start at verse number 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahweh Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. Now, you may read this and you may think easier said than done, right? Don't take it that way. Read the words of James and truly believe what he's telling you. Count it all joy. Some may think, how can I be in the midst of fire? How can I be dealing with such treacherous situations, heart-numbing situations, right? And count it all joy. Well, the way that you can do it is by leaning on the Most High, by leaning on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and getting into his word and getting that reminder that those who put their trust in the Lord are not forsaken, right? It says, knowing this, that the trying of your patience worketh faith, right? The trial of your patience worketh faith. Salakia. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Salakia, everybody. So you got to know that when your faith gets tried, it worketh patience. It teaches you how to be patient. It teaches you how to stay within a sound mind, even if the Lord is taking you through the fire of 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. The Lord may make your fire last 6 months, but the trying of your faith is what works patience. You see that? All praise to the Most High. Let's jump down to verse number 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. You can't let your faith waver. Even if you have a split second of doubt or worry, you got to snap back into it and not let your faith waver. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. Because soon as you let your faith waver, now you're getting tossed to and fro. Now it's this sorrowful thought, and it's just bouncing you back and forth like you on a ping pong table or something. You just getting just used and abused. You getting drugged. You get down, snatched here, snatched there, and you just getting wore out. You getting tortured. This heavy thought, that heavy thought, this anger, this sorrow, and you just getting the business, man. You gotta not let your faith waver. You gotta understand that the Lord is gonna try you at times, right? Let's get over here. I'm gonna just get 2 more scriptures, Lord willing. Let me get 2 more precepts. Get into the Apocrypha. I gotta get into the Apocrypha because I have to go into this. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 2 from the top. Have to get into this. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Every time I read this, man, it just turned me up. When you come to serve Yahweh, truly, you come to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you got to prepare your soul for temptation. You got to prepare your soul for test of faith. You have to set your heart, which is your mind, aright. Set it aright. Get your thoughts in order, man. Get yourself together. Lock in. Get your head in the game. Constantly endure whatever you may be going through. Consistently tell yourself, though I'm going through this, my faith and my trust in the Lord is going to remain high. I'm not accepting anything but that. I'm not accepting wavering in my faith. I'm not accepting my mind to go here and to go there. I'm not allowing myself a bit to be tossed to and fro. I'm not doing it. I'm going to get into the spirit of Job and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Now you may have been falling short within your faith and within your trust, but don't depart away within that. Don't turn away from the Lord. Don't turn away from obedience. Don't turn away from diligence. Don't turn away from your faith. Depart not away, that the Lord may increase you at your last end. You could be thinking like, man, I just can't take no more of this. I keep getting this news. I keep getting that news. He told me this. He told me that. She told me this. She told me that. This came my way. One thing after another. I'm getting my behind just whooped. But I stayed faithful. I stayed trusting. I stayed obedient. And the Lord increased me at my last end. So just when I thought I was going to give in, I had a crazy boost of faith and trust and joy within my spirit. And the Lord came to me and he just bound me up. He had the holy angels encamped around me. And they just wrapped me in their arms. And I just knew everything was just going to be absolutely okay, Lord willing. I knew that everything was going to work out in my favor. I knew that the Lord was going to bless me because he told me that if I remain faithful, if I remain obedient, I remain diligent, then he's going to give me what I need. To seek him, seek the kingdom. That's Matthew 6:33. Seek the kingdom and all else will be added unto you. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Take it cheerfully, whatever it is, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Be patient. Wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord. Everything's not about the timing that you want. Everything's not about when you think things is supposed to take place. Everything's not about the process that you think it's supposed to be. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Gold is tried in the fire, man. We reading it again. And acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. The Lord got to take you through some things. So, like you, the Lord will take you through some things. I don't ever like saying what the Lord has to do or got to do, because He don't have to do nothing. Now, He's going to stand on His word. He's going to do what He said He's going to do, right? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in Him, and He will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in Him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for His mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Wait for His mercy. It don't matter what's coming at you back to back to back. Just wait it out. Wait for His mercy. Deal with this, hear this, deal with this, hear this. Wait. Bam. Now the Lord done blessed you, and He done gave you what you needed. Ye that fear the Lord, believe Him, and your reward shall not fail. Your reward shall not fail. Those things that you praying for, and not always material things, that increase in love, compassion, faith, obedience that you praying for, stay steadfast within the Lord and what He tells you to do, and your reward will not fail. That healing that you praying for, stay steadfast in the Lord, and your reward will not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. And look at verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in His fear and was forsaken? Or whom did He ever despise that called upon Him? You see that? Anybody who ever put their full trust in the Lord, were they ever confounded? Did the Lord ever leave them high and dry after putting their full trust in Him? Truly, sincerely? No. Or did any abide in His fear and was forsaken? No. Let's read on. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in a time of affliction. He saves in the time of affliction. He's very compassionate. He's very merciful. He's very long suffering. He's very pitiful. Right? The Lord will take pity on you and hear your cry and answer you. He's very loving to His people, and He'll save you in the time of affliction. You got to do your part. You have to do your part. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinner that goeth 2 ways. Woe, destruction be unto that fearful heart. Don't be fearful in these times. And faint hands. Don't let your works and your faith faint. Stay within that trust and within that faith. And we'll read verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. See that? Don't be faint-hearted, because it's going to equate to you not believing. And then you won't be defended. The Lord won't come to your defense. Show the Lord that you really mean it, that you really faithful, that you really trust in Him. Let's get one more. I had a lot, but I'm running out of time. So we're going to First Maccabees chapter 2. And we'll start at 51. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Right? Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation and was imputed unto him for righteousness? Abraham was found faithful in his temptation, in his test of faith. Right? What did he do? He took Isaac up there and he bound him, and he was ready to make that sacrifice. And what did the Lord do? He came to his defense, and his reward did not fail. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt. Joseph was going through a time of distress, being sold off by his brothers, right? Being hated for being his father's favorite, right? But he kept the commandments. He kept faith. He kept trusting the Lord. And look, he was set up as the Lord of Egypt, right? Phineas, our father, being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Hey, he was zealous. He was fervent. He had a fervent love, trust, zeal for the Most High. And he didn't faint within that, and he was rewarded. Joshua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. See, it's a pattern of what the Lord will do when you just stay the course, man. Stay the righteous course, Lord willing. You gotta pray for that. You gotta pray for an increase in faith and increase in trust, and increase in diligence and obedience. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elijah, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. There's so many righteous and mighty examples. I love this. I love this chapter of the Maccabees. So many examples that we can learn from, and that we can try to walk in that same type of spirit, right? This lesson specifically is just on remaining in faith and trust in the Lord through difficult times, through tests. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, by believing, were saved out of the flame. Your belief and the trust and the faith will save you out of the situations that you're in, right? Will save you, will save your loved ones, will save your children. Daniel, for his innocence, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So keep that faith high, Israel. Keep that trust high, Israel. In the midst of fire, in the midst of adversity, in the midst of things that are extremely disheartening, all right? Keep that trust high, keep that faith high, keep them prayers going up, keep that diligence. Do your part. You got to do your part. You have to do your part, Lord willing. Call all Yahweh Bashim Mashiach Malak Yahushai, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying. All praise to the Most High. Salute to you, brothers that are getting prepared to go out and do the work today. Go out and feed the sheep. We commanded to feed the sheep. Salute to you, brothers. Salute to you, sisters who are staying home and being diligent, right? Keeping the house, teaching the children while you're there. All praise to the Most High. Salute to all Israel across the nation that's striving for righteousness, right? We praying, we praying, we praying. We remaining diligent. We keeping our faith high. And don't forget about the nationwide fast coming this Sunday at sundown, Lord willing. We all need to partake in that. We all have things that we need to fast for. We need to fast for the right reasons. We need to fast in sincerity. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.